Okay, guys. So to show you how to do your weaving, it's really, really simple actually. All you're going to do, the yarn that is the big skein of yarn, this is not cut, it's one single piece. You are going to start wrapping that around your loom first. So you're going to start and leave. Oh, sorry, I should show you this. Kind of take these and loosen them up a little bit. These are brand new. Don't rip them, but just kind of wiggle them a little bit so that that space in between them is easier to see. And then now you're going to start on the back and leave yourself a tail. Okay, this tail needs to be taped in place with masking tape. So I'm going to lay that right there so you can kind of see what I'm doing. I'm just going to take the piece of masking tape, tear it, pull this tight, and lay it down like so, nice and smooth. Okay, then I'm going to turn it over, go to the bottom and pull it tight through there. On the back, see I'm continuing to go through the next one. Sorry, it's hard to do while you're videoing. And then through the bottom one, through the top one, and you're going to continue to do this until it is done all the way for each individual slit that's in your cardboard. There should be 10 slits in your cardboard. I tried to count on everybody's and cut them in the appropriate space. So make sure that I just skipped one. Make sure you don't skip one, and that your loom is completely covered from top to bottom, like so. Whoops, that one I missed. See, even I who have done this a million times cannot do it perfectly sometimes. It's hard to break those things apart when they're brand new. Now, this piece is only cut after you get to that final slit. And then you want to also end on the same side that you started. So where that piece of tape is, this is the back. So we want to end on the back. So down there at the bottom, I'm going to give yourself a little bit of room. Cut it. Have to take that tail and tape that down so that does not move, just like we did the first time. So again, let me show you the difference between the front and the back. So the front, 0 tape. Every space has 1 string in it at the top and the bottom. On the back, there's 2 pieces of tape, where we started and where we ended, okay? Next, this is your loom. Next, you are going to get your needle. It's not really a needle, it's just a coffee stir stick. And then on the coffee stir stick, I have taped a piece of yarn. Notice that the yarn is going up and down, just like the stick. And I took that one small piece of tape and wrapped it around it. If you make this all chunky, it gets hard to get through the loom. Now when you're weaving, does not matter where you start, just make sure you start on the front, not the back. And all you're going to do is go under, over, under, over. And look, I'm not even looking at mine, and I can still do it. Now, when you're through, you want to check and make sure you didn't skip one. But when you know it's correct, you're going to pull, 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 until you have a small tail hanging. You need that tail because at the end, we're going to tie all those together. You kind of want to push it down, make it nice and even, okay? On the last one, the pink is going over the orange. So on this next row, I want to go the opposite. So I want to make sure that I start by going under this first one, over the second one, and keep going. Oops, sorry. See, I almost skipped one. Sorry, I gotta look at it. And then once you check it and make sure you didn't skip one, if you did skip one, back it out and redo, but then you want to pull. Now, let me show you what not to do here. If I take this and I pull it super tight, do you see what starts to happen? See how my loom gets messed up? So make sure that when you pull that next string that you're not pulling quite so hard on it. you still want these to remain as straight as possible. Now eventually in the middle they will start to come in a little bit, but down here at the bottom they should be pretty nice and straight. Now I'm going to pause it for just a second and I'll show you what to do next. Okay, so I've done the pink over and under, nice and smooth looking, pushed it down. There's not really a lot of space in between it, but notice that it's getting too tight and it's too hard to go back through because my needle is too long. So at this point, I'm going to cut this off of here, and I'm going to go ahead and take this tape off because I'm going to get my next color ready, okay? So you're going to take this off. Your next color, that pink, just so you know, was about as tall as I am, so about 5 foot long, and that's how much it covered. The green is what I want to use for my next color, and I don't want it to be as thick, so I want my pattern to be a thick, thin, so I'm going to cut it a little bit shorter. Now, the only thing to know when you start your next color is that you always need to start on the side where the tail is, so that two tails are hanging next to each other, and those will eventually be tied together. So, for example, this pink one, again, is going over the orange. It has a tail. I'm going to start by going the opposite, and then on that first one through, remember this is the one that you pull until you have a tail hanging, and you want your tails to be about, the same length as each other so that you can tie them together later. So something like that. And then basically you're going to continue. The green goes over the orange, so I'm going to start by going under. And always check when you pull them through to make sure they are opposites of each other. And again, don't pull too tightly because you don't want your loom to get messed up, okay? And you're going to keep doing this all the way up until it's nice and full. Remember to push them down and make them close together. And you can have a pattern of colors. You can have random colors. You can have a thick, thin pattern. You can try weaving some interesting things in there, like maybe you want to do just a row of a pipe cleaner or the row of a stick that you find out in the yard. You can, if it's long and thin and it can be woven in and out of the yarn, it can basically be anything. A ribbon, a piece of wire. There's all kinds of things that you can do. So when you're done with this and you're ready to take it off of your loom and the entire thing is full, you're going to have some options of what this is going to be. One, it just can be a beautiful weaving and you can leave it on the loom. Two, if we take it and we cut it off of the loom, it can be a bookmark. Or three, it can even be a bracelet if we add a button to it. So there's lots of options for what this weaving can become. And at the end of this video, I'm going to show you a couple of pictures of some finished ones. Hope you guys enjoy weaving. Remember, we are doing this while we are doing our clay on the potter's wheel, so your best behavior is very, very important to me. Thank you very much for listening, and hope you make beautiful art.